This is the Entertainment Answer.
Is that Al Pacino?
That's what a lot of people think that's Al Pacino. It is not.
Then it must be.
It is not. That is Tom Waits.
Here's the question. If a majority of people say something is something, doesn't it make it that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean,
because you say it's Tom Waits and somebody told you it was Tom Waits, but everybody else says it's Al Pacino. Doesn't it make it Al Pacino?
No, that just makes them dumb.
Oh man.
No, it's Tom Waits. I could probably send you the image that was inspired.
I have no doubt that that's what you were told.
And you see all these people.
Uh-huh.
These are all
Al Pacino's characters from different movies.
Celebrity mugshots. That one right there is Keanu Reeves.
So you say. I don't believe it. I believe no sort of reality now that there's social media and Photoshop and AI.
Yeah.
And Zingbot. I don't believe anything anymore.
Right. I don't believe everything anymore either. What are we going to talk about? What are we doing?
I thought we were talking about it already.
What are we doing? Zingbot. Big Brother, man. Why? It's like, okay. So last episode on this Big Brother show, on the Entertainment Answer, best podcast ever with Matt and Bryan.
Ever.
Last week, we talked about not coming back to the show.
I know. And then everybody probably came out. And when people came out there Monday and we weren't there, they were probably like, oh, I guess they didn't come back. They're probably they're done. So here's the thing with Big Brother, and you're right. We said that we were like, are we going to come back to this show or not? Because we were on the cusp, the precipice of bailing because of just how the show was going. And then you told me there would be a light at the end of the tunnel. You said there's a double eviction. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I thought the light was an oncoming train. You assured me it's an oasis with healthy snacks, whatever. The light at the end of the tunnel came. But then they're like,
but there was a light. Yeah.
There was.
But then like that light went out very rapidly.
It did. And I have to think, and we've talked about this on the show in the past, I have to think that the producers they have storyboarded the entire season. So they know what night is a double eviction. They know when the scary verse is going to kick in and we're going to have zombies. They knew this from day one. They knew it. So I can't get upset that they only put this stuff into play to bring back characters that I despise the most.
Yeah.
Is it just coincidence?
You got to figure it could have been anybody. But for right now, oh my God. It doesn't make sense at all why they're doing this. And again, I know when this season started, we talked about what would we change about this. And yes, a lot of people do know now that are in the game, this has to be a double eviction. This might be a triple eviction week. They need to change that up. They need to do like double eviction week 2. Change it up, throw them off super crazy. Because now it's like, oh, they're kind of halfway done. But what they're doing this year, they've extended the Big Brother runtime because I think maybe the writer's strike and the actor's strike. Now, expect the unexpected, as Julie Chen says. Nobody's really out. Read comic books. Nobody really dies and goes away. There's always a way back for them. There could be a line of dialogue or whatever. And that's what we're seeing in Big Brother. People are getting voted out of the house and coming back instantly.
Yes. And it just so happens that the light at the end of the tunnel for the double eviction, Cameron went home. We like Cameron, but I was fine with Cameron because Cody and America were on the block. I didn't want either one of those two to go. They are in my top. So Corey. I always call him Cody. Corey and America were on the block. I didn't want either one of them to go home. So the fact that Corey saved himself, brought himself down, they put up Cameron, and then what happened? No, Jag won. Or wait, happened?
Yes.
Jag won veto.
Yes.
And Jag took down Corey.
Took down Corey. They hugged it out. They were fine. And who did they put up?
They put up Cameron, who that was kind of the intent anyway. I think that was supposed to be the main target. We knew that was coming. Yes. Of those three, I would rather see Cameron go home anyway, to be honest. Right. Of those three. Yeah. There's other people I'd rather go home, but of those three, that's the worst case.
I like Cameron. I really like America. I could see her going home, and I'd be kind of fine with it. I'd rather have Cameron over America, but I would not rather have Cameron over Corey.
Interesting. Yeah, America's smart. She's
very smart.
I like them as players, and I like them. They're just a cute little couple. I wish them. I hope they have little tiny babies. So Cameron is up there. Cameron went home, no big surprise. Then Julie tells him that you're not necessarily gone because we're putting in this scary zombie thing. So then
you're going to be a zombie. Yeah, you're going to be a zombie.
Second eviction comes, and we're like, please don't let Jared or Sari or Felisa win this competition. Don't let them win. That was the three we could not have win. Right. And of course, Jared wasn't playing because he's outgoing.
Yeah.
But there were so many options of good or bad. And the light kept coming. The light in the tunnel kept coming and getting brighter and brighter. Yeah. Who wins head of household?
Corey does.
Corey wins. Boom, boom. Off the block. Instant head of household. In control. The light brighter. Even brighter.
And it was very close. It almost was Blue. And Blue is still in love with Jared. I don't get it.
Something with Jared. I don't know if she's just riding his coattails, if she's not wanting to stir it up. I mean, I don't know why she's hanging with this dude unless she's just got a track record of just knucklehead guys in her life.
Well, she is pretty annoying. So I could see the two getting together and just making one super.
She deserves better, though. Even as much as I can't stand Blue, she deserves better than Jared.
They probably deserve each other.
And if he calls her bro one more time, I'm gonna fly out there and find the Big Brother house, sneak in somehow, do the scary verse, and punch him dead in the face.
Yeah, seriously, you'll probably have to do that dozens of more times, bro.
Dude, quit calling her bro.
So Corey wins. It's almost Blue. Thank God it's Corey. And then they have a commercial break to figure out who's going on the block.
Yep.
So who goes on the block?
He puts up Jared and Blue.
Yes.
The other showmance. Jared had put up him and America, the showmance. He turns around, right back in their face. Light brighter still. Jared and Blue on the block. Amazing.
Yeah. It is so good. And so they have to do a veto competition. And of course, what happens? Nobody does the veto. They keep it the same.
I think Matt wins, right? Matt wins and keeps it the same.
Matt wins. And, I think Jared knows that he's the one going to be voted out.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if Jared's smart enough to even know he was nominated. Maybe he did. I don't know.
I think he did.
I think his mom told him, son, you're nominated.
Yeah, his mom
sit in this chair
him.
now. You sit in the big boy chair now, okay? That's
what
Sari has to tell him.
And then what's great is that everybody votes him out except his mom. And at this point, how can nobody not know that they're mother and son? It's just but
nobody knows the one vote. The one vote could have been Felicia because she keeps saying that she's Jared, Jared's a son to her, and so. I mean, I'm with you. I don't know why by now people haven't figured it out, but there are options. And even if she was the only one, there's been no doubt their closeness in the competition. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So Jared gets sent home.
Lights the brightest it's been.
It was so good. I was clapping. I was like, yes, finally get the F out. And I mean, and it brought happiness to my face to see how upset Siri was. It was so amazing. And then damn Julie Chen had to come into the picture, ruin everything. Julie ruins everything. That should be the hashtag.
It's not Julie's call, though. She's not the producers. She's the host.
She's the host, but you don't think she has a heavy hand in what happens?
I hope not, because I don't think she likes Jared much. I don't think she likes him either. So you have when Jared comes out, they talk, and she brings Cameron out as a zombie, and she tells Cameron and Jared, well, for this next week, y'all are both going back in the Big Brother house to live, and y'all are going to have competitions throughout the week to see who's going to stay. And I'm just going, wait, does nothing mean anything anymore? Are there no rules? I felt like Walter and Big Lebowski. Am I the only one that gives a shit about the rules here? Exactly. And then the light turns back into a train and hits me square on in the face. Because now we can't get rid of Jared. We just can't.
Yeah, we can't get rid of Jared.
It's like the most annoying player in the world, and now he's back in the house. Cerie's happy. She's just thinking the greatest thing in the world has happened. Now they're now back. There's a competition that has to take place, of course, to see if they can stay.
So what is it? So what I'm getting, I don't know for sure, but it looks like Jared and Cameron had to perform 3 different competitions throughout the week, and then whoever won out of all those 3, would get the chance to play, to go on with the rest of the people to stay in the house.
Yeah.
Please.
So, which I'm still hoping is Cameron. There was no Wednesday night episode this week. So there was only the Sunday night, and then it jumped. There was nothing. I mean, they kind of left you with a cliffhanger of who was going to win this. And then there's a show, as we're recording this on Thursday. There's a show tonight. So there wasn't anything Wednesday. So this week was almost like a no week. This was absolutely nothing happened this week. You heard that they got to come back, and then there's this. They strung out these competitions, and we still don't know if it's Cameron or Jared. So I don't know. This week was just a throwaway.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea why they would do that. I mean, yesterday was Wednesday. What was on that they did not do a Wednesday episode? Was it the debates or the Republican debate?
Maybe. I don't know.
Seems kind of odd.
Yeah, I mean, but they seem like they knew way in advance that they weren't going to have a show that Wednesday. So I don't know. I don't really ever watch network television, so I don't really know what was on. It's not football night. It's not. I mean, ABC was doing stuff. I don't know what CBS was doing last night.
I mean, the only thing I know that there was a Republican debate on, so I don't know if they didn't want to go up against that. Who would watch that? I
don't know. I mean, I thought they only put that on C-SPAN now.
Right. Yeah. So it was interesting that there was no episode yesterday, and then tonight, I guess we'll figure it out, and then somebody will go home.
Yes. So now we're back. We haven't moved from where we were on the last show. As far as are we going to stay around or not? 2 weeks have passed, and we still don't know if we're going to continue watching this stupid show.
I mean, there's a thing in it. So I like the fact that somebody can come back in the game. I don't like it to be immediate. Like, have them gone, have it like 4 weeks go by, and then like, wait, a mysterious zombie has risen. It's this person, not do it immediately.
Yeah. This whole, and I know they're trying to find things for the scary verse to do. I would almost rather, if they're going to bring back zombies, don't do the last 2 just kicked off in a double eviction. Like you said, bring back Izzy and Red. Bring back the first 2 eliminated players.
Riley and Kirsten, bring them back.
If they would have brought back the very first two people eliminated, that would make more sense. They never had time in the house to build relationships. Bring them back. Don't bring back the two people that just got voted out.
Yeah, I agree.
That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing to me.
Yeah, that would have actually been better to bring back Kirsten and Riley because they would have actually changed the game, whereas Cameron and Jared won't change the game.
They're not changing
Kirsten
anything.
and Riley would have changed the game.
100%. Damn it, we should be producing this show.
We should. We should. That would have been amazing.
That shows that's what happens when the writers go on strike. Writers would have been like, you know what we would have done? They got some person that has no idea what they're doing. They're like, well, just bring back the last two people.
Yeah.
Dummies.
So here's, do you want the light at the end of the tunnel again?
Sure. Yeah.
Light at the end of the tunnel here.
Do you know what happened if you watched the live feed?
No, but I can look right now.
Well, you shouldn't know. Well, they wouldn't put it out there. There's people spoiling it already, even though it hadn't aired. I mean,
people on Twitter post like what's happening.
Anyway, all right. No, I don't want to know. I'm going to watch tonight.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you're going to, maybe. So light at the end of the tunnel. The only light at the end of the tunnel is that Cameron wins and Jared gets evicted a second time in a row to go home. And that would be just so funny. Like, he's like, oh, dude, nobody liked you. You got voted out twice in a row. And like, watch Julie say, like, you still have the option to come back.
Oh, I know. Will he be the first member of the jury?
Well, they didn't evict anybody over the last 2 weeks. So it's, I don't know. I feel like there's like one person still not left in the jury.
Yeah.
Since they brought both two people back.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, worst case, because you know Jared, he's gonna be like, "Your bro, I told you I can't leave this game. I'm winning this. I'm the best player ever." I don't want to hear his voice again, bro.
AKA the worst player,
bro. Don't hear your name. You don't want to hear anything about you anymore, bro.
So what's great is, so the light at the end of the tunnel right now is Jared going home. Mm-hmm. And then Siri is going to be too upset that he's gone that she's going to be like, vote me out. I'm out.
No, because I think she's already got through the emotion of losing him. So losing him a second time won't be as hard as losing him the first time.
It'll be embarrassing.
It'll be embarrassing. Now, light at the end of the tunnel is that Cameron becomes, because if he wins this, Jared goes home and Cameron automatically becomes new head of household.
Which would be awesome.
And then he puts up Suri and Felicia. And neither one of those are going, unless it's Plinko part 2. Yeah. None of them is going to win anything.
Right. So I would hope that would be the case. That would be such a good light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my God. To have them both go home right after each other. So let's talk about
the dark side of the tunnel. Cameron goes home. Jared is head of household, puts up Corey in America, and we're back to square one again. And Corey goes home, or America goes home. And all of this was for nothing.
Yeah, I feel like if Corey goes home, I would stop watching.
If anybody other than, this is a big statement. If anybody other than Jared
or Suri
or Felicia go home, I hate to say that because it sounds like I'm singling out a group of people. I'm not. I've said from day one.
McCole's your favorite.
McCall is my favorite. And so, I still got that to hold on to. So it's not that kind of a thing, but they just annoy me. They're just since the beginning of the game. So if anybody but those three go home, I might get into scroll mode instead of watch mode.
Yeah, that's probably what I will do too, because I do not want to see happiness on Jared or Suri at all.
I don't want to see them sitting there gloating in the diary room for the next 3 weeks.
I don't either. I don't want to see it. It'll be terrible. I'm going to stop watching.
I know. So luckily we have Golden Bachelor tonight, so that's my backup. So I'm watching
Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise.
I don't watch Paradise.
Paradise is the better show out of all of those.
Isn't that like just? I don't know.
I'm telling you, Matt, because I know we both watch this stuff because of Susan.
Susan watches it because of us.
Well, I guess so. She forces me to watch it. But The Bachelor in Paradise is the better show. They have the biggest success rating, and it's the most fun. It's great. It's really good. You would really like it. But yeah, you have Golden Bachelor, which hopefully is very sweet and fun, and get to hear a guy that sounds like Kermit the Frog for an hour and a half. But let's go back to Big Brother real quick.
Yes.
And let's talk about that pretty fun argument between Siri, Jared, and Felicia.
I think I fast forwarded through that argument because I didn't want to hear anybody's voice. I did see something. Was it the argument about? What was the argument about? Because I did kind of see them going at it, but I didn't want to hear anything they had to say.
So Jared, in his infinite wisdom, called out Felicia for not voting to keep him. So he knows that it was his mom that voted for him. So he called out Felicia and said, like, why didn't you vote to keep me? Type of thing. And she blew up. And, he said, like, well, you were trying to get Siri out and you tried to do this thing with me. And no. It wasn't Jared, but Jared came into that. Siri asked why she didn't vote to keep Jared in. And so Felicia was caught in her lie when they showed her and Jared sitting by the pool and her saying, I'm going to not align with Siri now. I'm going to align with you, Jared. And she denied that because maybe she probably forgot. But Felicia is an angry Black woman when she gets very angry. And so her voice raised from usually like her 4 to like a 12. And she got, I don't like to use stereotypes, but it was very stereotypical where it was like talking over each other. And then Suri got into that. And what was so perfect about that moment, you should go back and watch that because the camera interjects Cameron, because everybody in the house could hear them because they're yelling so loud in the room. Cameron has his tea. Jag is right there. He's hearing it. And Cameron looks at Jag and just goes, cheers, and walks off. I'm like, this is so perfect. I'm so glad they did that. But Felicia turned into a werewolf, man. Like, she's always kind of been a little stern if she gets angry, but man, she lost her cool. And it was like Siri, and then Jared came in to worsen it all up. And I don't think they're on good terms at all whatsoever after that.
I mean, I hope not. Again, we're all subject to the editing process of what happens, but I mean, they have to be in turmoil right now. They have to be at the point where there's no solidarity in any side of the professors anymore. So yeah, they're crumbling, but if they will come together, there's still a power in that group. If they can just put their egos aside and their pettiness aside and get together. I don't think they will at this point.
No, they won't, because
I think Cameron did a great job of just blowing that up.
No, they did, because the Professors was a terrible alliance to begin with, because you have awful people like Heisem and Izzy. Izzy played a very personal game and didn't like people in her own alliance just by the way they looked. That's the pot calling the kettle black right there. But she didn't want to work with her own alliance, so they got them out. Heisem was a dickhead, and so he didn't know how to deal with people in their own alliance. He just thought, like, I'm in their alliance, I can do whatever I want. And then you have Jared, who's the biggest dum-dum ever, and is just trying to start stuff with everybody with no like plan of attack. He's just like, I'm going to say this and hope that it stirs something up. But then he doesn't realize that everybody is smarter than him in the house and calls him back out on his own stuff. And then even his mom was like, Jared, what are you doing? So I think it was just a bad alliance of dumb people. I think Siri is very smart in how she plays the game, but she surrounds herself with dumb people.
Yeah. Siri is smart. I mean, you don't go through as many episodes of Survivor and win traitors like she does and not be very smart and meticulous in your decision making.
Yeah.
I think if Jared wasn't on this show this season, she would have a better chance. She's too distracted by her knucklehead son. If she was in there on her own and could focus on just her game, there's nobody that would beat her at all, hands down.
No,
she's too distracted.
She's playing chess Cameron was playing chess. Jag tries to play chess, but he's always had a target on his back. And then Corey and America are playing chess too, and the rest of them are just kind of floating by. I mean, we still
Corey
have
and America
no
are
time
playing
with,
Twister.
Right. Exactly. They are playing Twister. Look at you. Spin the bottle. But then you have McCall and Bowie who just have still to this day, halfway through the game.
They're playing hide and seek is what they're playing.
90 seconds of screen time. It baffles me.
Oh, I love McCall so much. I hope she wins.
That would be a first that somebody who did nothing in the game wins.
Yes.
I mean, she'll have to do something within the final four.
Sure. But until then, I mean, she's just sitting back and watching the fires burn. She is. And it's a genius move. But I mean, it would be fun to see McCall win, but I would rather see Corey win. Of the people left, I don't know. I would be fine with, I would obviously be fine with Corey winning. I would love for America to win. I would love for McCall to win. I'd be okay if Matt won. It'd be one of those things like, oh, look.
He's a little puppy dog, a dumb puppy dog. Yeah. Pat him on the head.
I mean, but he wins competitions when he has to, and he does do what he needs to do. He's not making big moves on his own. He's making the moves he needs to make for his own game at times, but he's not going to blow the game up. He's just not. So,
right. So now the biggest threat in the house is Jared. And so if we get Jared gone, then Felicia and Suri don't have a leg to stand on because they won't win anything. And then they can get him out.
And let's just be clear. When you say the biggest threat, not the biggest threat because he's smart and can win stuff. He's just the biggest threat because we don't like him. He's
against everybody else in the house. And he's the biggest idiot. Yeah. Because he just wants him and his mom to win. And that's who in what timeline does anybody watching the show want that to happen?
I don't. But again, I respect the fact that he is loyal to his mom. I mean, it frustrates me from a game viewing perspective. But yeah, I mean, he's doing what you would think he should do as a son. But nobody watching Big Brother wants to see that happen.
Right.
No one. I can guarantee you no one does. No one.
Nobody in
the world. Nobody wants to see that happen.
Nobody. So I'm curious.
Which means it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. Well, so tonight, what do you think happens? Because nothing has happened. That like in the last 2 weeks, we're back to square one. Nobody's on the block. Nobody's up. It's just a free for all right now.
Yeah, I'm putting it out in the universe that Cameron is going to be able to stay, and Jared is finally going to be gone.
I hope so.
I'm saying that's what's going to happen.
I hope so. So do you think like they're conjuring up a game that Siri can win, like almost foolproof, so that she can save her son?
The only way is if they have the ability, production-wise, to move around games as needed. I don't know how much goes into, we've got this set built that we need to, this is the next event. You know, if they have the ability to swap up future things, then yeah, they'll probably bring in some sort of competition where it's trivia, whether it's going to be non-physical, it's going to be completely luck. But I don't know. Hopefully we've not gotten to that point. I don't think it's Hunger Games. I don't think you got a game master up there going, all right, we want this person to win, so let's move the swarm of bugs over here to attack these people. I don't think there's a master control like Hunger Games where they're helping individual people. I really want to still say that the events and the competitions are in place as they always would have been, no matter who was there.
Okay.
I want to think that. I could be wrong.
I mean, from what they've done with this, with Jared coming back in the house, it's just like, oh my God.
Because let me ask you this from a devil's advocate point of view, from a producing, TV viewing, ratings wise. If let's say 3 or 4 weeks ago, In Order, Jared's gone, Cerie's gone. Felicia's gone. Izzy's gone. Is there any drama left in the house? Are we having these conversations about the show and talking so much about the show? If those people are gone and the only people left are the people we love, does that make it boring?
No, that makes it, I think, even more dynamic because they're going to have to start turning on each other and form little alliances because they're going to have to turn on each other.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just wonder from a perspective of, I'm sure the TV ratings people are like, this is great that these people are still here stirring up trouble.
Yeah. And I will say this year, so far, still this year, everybody voting in the eviction, it's almost been unanimous every time except for maybe one, maybe two votes here and there.
Yeah, I think it was Izzy's wasn't. Izzy had one vote, and that was Cerie. Jared had one vote, which was Cerie. Cameron was unanimous, right?
Yeah.
So I think you're right. Other than Izzy and Jared, I think they've all been unanimous votes. Red. Cameron's voted to keep Red.
Red, yeah. But isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. Yeah. Usually it's almost like 65, 45%, 65, 35, So, the fact that, and I think it's one of those things where the smart people are going, hey, we're going to vote with the other side. We're going to seem like everybody's playing the fair game. I think going forward, we're not going to see that sort of unanimous vote.
I mean, if Jared comes up on the block, everybody's voting him out, I bet.
Cerie won't. Cerie will never write his name down.
Yeah.
If Cerie goes up there, Jared won't write her name down if he's still there. If Felicia's up, it could be unanimous.
Yes.
But I think everybody else, there would be some splits. Because America's never going to vote for Corey. Corey's never going to vote for America. Matt won't vote for either one of them. I don't think Jag would vote unanimously to send any of those three home.
Right.
McCall and both. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. But it's going to come down to what happens tonight, Thursday night, to see who stays. I don't know, man. But again, it is funny that 2 weeks later, we're in the same position we were.
Yeah.
The light was there, and then it burned bright, and then it dimmed, and we're back in the tunnel.
Isn't it annoying? Does it annoy you?
It does annoy me a little bit, which shows how easy my life is. If the most annoying thing in my life is Big Brother. I got a pretty dang easy life, I'll tell you.
Right, yeah, I agree.
Jeez,
Louise. Both have good lives.
We do. Instead of sitting in therapy, what's going on? Oh, I lost this loved one. Well, Big Brother's killing me.
Yeah, Big Brother's killing me, man. It's just is that what's bothering you? Yeah,
go
man.
Home. Go home.
Yeah. I think you're cured. Oh God. I mean, put ourselves in that situation, Matt. What if you and I were on Big Brother and we both got voted off and then we got the chance to go back in?
That would be very interesting. Because it would be exciting. It would be exciting. But I think it's interesting that the two people coming in are rivals. It's not like Red and Cameron got voted out and they're back in, because that would be like you and I.
Yeah.
I think it's just so, I don't know. It seems almost handpicked that the two biggest rivals right now in the house are the two that got evicted and back in.
Yeah.
Seems too perfect. It
does. I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll find out for sure on Big Brother. Whether we're going to watch or not, I don't know for sure. So what else is going on? You just came back from Fantastic Fest.
I did come back from Fantastic Fest.
Was it fantastic?
Yes and no. It was about 50-50.
But you love Fantastic Fest. That's usually your favorite part of the year.
I do.
What happened?
It was definitely the worst year they've ever done.
Is it because of the strikes?
No, I would question going back.
Wow, that bad.
Yeah, that bad.
Is it now? As it became like South by Southwest, where it's too big now, and not everything is available?
No. They hired a new festival director, and she needs to be sacked. She can't do this anymore.
So it's not Fonz PR anymore?
No. They're not the festival director. They just put on the press stuff. Like,
gotcha. Okay.
No, the festival director. All that being said, I had a blast. Like,
okay.
But just because I partied. That's true. Fantastic Fest is a very accessible, very inclusive festival this is my 9th or 10th year going. This is the first year where the new festival director, who has no idea what she's doing, opted greed over a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So they oversold the festival to the top 2 tier badges to get into the festival. So press and media and everybody who bought a regular badge didn't get to see movies. So our friend Preston, myself, and a couple other press people didn't see any movies for 2.5 days because they were sold out.
Then what's the point of having press there?
Exactly.
But that's kind of what South by Southwest did, though. That was my reference. Is it got to a point at South by where you would have a hard time getting into screenings as just a press member.
Well, so like, and what was not great, but what was funny to me is that the PR team, who I love, really tried to accommodate everybody. And so they would tell us, like, email us your pics and text us, and you did. And then every time we got rejection letters. So that was just like on top of the shit show, was just like an extra, middle finger to you.
So nobody got in to see, because Saw 10 was a special screening.
Nope, nobody got in.
So Preston didn't see anything either. You or Preston?
I'm gonna tell you this. Preston was gonna come home Tuesday night. He ended up leaving Sunday.
Wow. Yeah,
that's how bad it was.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to go.
No,
if you're going to do that, because if you do, because I know last year, and maybe they didn't do it this year, if you wanted to, you could do remote press, and they would just send you links to watch almost everything. Might as well do that if you can't get in to see them there.
Yeah, it was crazy. And to the other side of that, if you were press or media, it was an extremely easy time doing interviews. Like, if you wanted an interview, you'd get it.
But there was nobody there because of the strikes, right?
Yeah, you were just talking to a director.
Right. No offense, directors, but yeah.
But right. So with that, and so you had that element to it. But the other element that came in was that the Alamo Draft House in South Lamar, when you walk into those front doors, there is a gigantic lobby that everybody stands in, and it's huge. So 2 months ago, they knocked that lobby out and turned it into an extra theater. They also took out all the seats of every theater and replaced them with recliners. Mm-hmm. And so the seating capacity is now dwindled like 20%. So there's not as many seats as there were. So on top of that, and with everybody at a festival not being able to be inside the theater waiting, they had to be outside in Austin or in the highball, which wasn't bad. It was a little more chaotic. Mm-hmm. And then on top of nobody, like people who paid for those badges, like press badges, are worth upwards of $600, $700. So there are people who bought Fantastic Fest badges for $600, $700 that didn't get to see a movie. And, I'll never understand why places and companies overbook or oversell stuff. But with airlines, if they oversell something and you don't get on, they refund you and then give you money. Mm-hmm. Fantastic Fest not going to do that. So
some people spent upwards of $500 for a pass and never got to see anything.
Upwards of $600. Yeah, didn't get to see anything. Whereas in previous years, when it was not run by this director, this new film director, it's just her first year, how you picked your ticket. So like, let's say like at a certain time at noon, there's 5 movies showing. You can pick your 5 choices in order, like your
Mhm.
first choice, your second choice, third choice. And so you would pick those, you would submit them, and then they would, like a couple hours later, they would show you what you got, but you were guaranteed something to watch.
Even if
might
it's
not
your
be your
fifth
first,
choice. Yeah.
not your first choice, might be your second choice, but you were guaranteed something to watch in a seat. Not the case this year. If you didn't get something, and it was almost like a Ticketmaster type of system where just as bad, where you have to be in at the right time within a few seconds or everything else sells out. And so that's what happened for 2.5 days straight. And I was just like, whatever. So you can imagine how Preston reacted. But me, I was like, what the hell are we doing here? But, oh, well, there's alcohol. I'm going to go drink. I'm going to go to the record stores. I'll keep checking back in, but
Right.
I just got drunk.
So what do you think is going to happen? Are enough people who matter going to complain, or is it not going to change?
So a lot of
do they
people
care
complain.
really? Because the press and media, if they're the only ones complaining, but all the other people who bought high tier passes had a blast, they're not going to change it.
So yeah, the 2 high tier passes aren't complaining because they got everything they wanted. So if Fantastic Fest wants to go that route, don't have press, don't have regular film festers going, just have those 2 top tier people going and sell out. But if they don't want to do that, if they want to include everybody, because most of those people that paid didn't get in the movies are complaining hardcore.
Well,
and
sure.
Even the filmmakers have a certain time they can pick the movies they go to, and they can't get in either. So I know a lot of them have complained as well. And it's just, if they don't change something, I don't see myself going back. I mean, unless it's in writing that I can get everything in a screener link beforehand and I can do interviews.
Right.
But yeah, it's the first year that's ever done this. And it says a lot that if Preston leaves like 2-3 days prior to when he's leaving, like he did.
Yeah. And then it becomes, because I think Preston's at that point where, and you are too, just from a different perspective of, what matters for my days, just hanging out in Austin, not watching anything, or being back with my family. And, what's the point? You've always gone to Fantastic Fest sort of for the party element. So you were still able to party a little bit.
Right. No, I love the part. I mean, I had a ball. Like, I had a good time. Did I get to see the movies I wanted to see? No, but
Right.
It was really weird. And like,
who else was there that we know? Anybody from the Dallas press else went? Because like Mark and those guys always go, right?
So Mark Walters was not there. Mark Chaffardini was not there this year. Paul Salfin was there for a couple days.
Of course.
So I saw him, and basically just Preston and I don't remember seeing any other Dallas person there that I can remember. Oh, there might be somebody from Dallas that I've seen, but I don't know his name. But other than that, I didn't recognize anybody else. So, right. I mean, I had a group of people. There was 5 or 6 of us that voice stayed together. So, but it was a good time. I had a good time minus that, but I would seriously be very apprehensive to go again unless they addressed these big issues and they fired the festival director.
Yeah. But now that you know of this, then next year you can ask the right questions. Because you're right. If it was like one of those things where I was going to go and I was like, let me at least screen ahead of time or have an advantage of links and then just do interviews. Just fill up my days with red carpets and interviews. I think that would still be worth a bang.
And the other thing that they did this year was they allowed influencers in. Oh,
influencers are always going to trump press these days. Influencers in every outlet and every sort of meeting are taking precedent over anything. So yeah, if you're an influencer, you're definitely going to get high priority over. I don't care if you've been writing for Rolling Stone for 20 years.
Yeah,
an influencer who has never even written one article is going to get more accommodations than you are. That's just the world we live in.
So it was interesting. I like I said, I mean, I saw a couple movies. I got to talk to some really cool people.
So it wasn't a total loss.
No, it wasn't a total loss by any means. I have some good interviews that are going to be shown and posted, and I got to see some movies that are really cool that nobody will probably see for a little while. But it was not a great year with what went on with the ticketing, what they did with that, with what they did with the Alamo. Even though it looks cool inside, it's all Kubrick themed. And then on top of that, the writers and actors not being there. So
yeah. I think next year will be different. I would hope.
I mean, the actors will be back and writers will be back, but if the ticketing system's the same, I won't go unless I get in writing saying, look, this is you'll get all the links to any movie, even opening night and all that stuff, and you can schedule interviews, because that will just make sense for press. If you want to have seats open for paying members, just send us the links and we'll watch it. We'll still be there. Right. I mean, I would hope to go to an opening night movie just because it's fun to be in a crowd, but if that's how it is, that's how it is.
Yeah. Things have definitely changed. I think for all film festivals over the last couple of years, there's been this paradigm shift and I think too, it's an oversaturation of not just influencers and people, but amount of press. It's just, yeah. Right.
And I don't know what consumes them as press, or like how you get in, because I mean, there's people that get into press and I'm just like, what's happening? Like, how do you just say like, hey, I like movies and I'm in? Like, I don't know how
you say, hey, I like movies, and you have 1.2 million followers on Instagram, you're absolutely getting in.
Right. But somebody who has like a little blog that, 10 people go to a day, I feel like some of those people are getting in. So how does that work?
I don't know how it works. Yeah. I would lose sleep if I tried to figure it out. Luckily, there's other people other than me making those choices. So, I mean, I know for me personally, there's things I get and things I don't get. You just, in this industry, learn and be grateful for what you do get and don't sweat the stuff you don't.
Yeah, same here. But it was definitely aggravating going to a festival you've been going to for 10 years and then this what happens.
Yeah, that's the thing is if you've gotten into a situation where you expect something and then it just does a 180, that is frustrating for sure.
Yeah. So it was bittersweet. I still, again, had a blast. But again, I like to party, so
Bryan likes to party.
I didn't let that stop me.
Does anything ever stop you?
I hope not.
I hope not, for sure.
I hope not.
All right. Well, the next time we get together will hopefully be Monday, as we'll get back on our normal Big Brother schedule. If we're still, I don't know, man. It depends what happens tonight. But we'll be back either way. It might just be a beep sign-off thing on there for our podcast. Then Then you'll know.
You know what we'll do if it's that, you and I are just going to do the Bachelor stuff, and then we're going to just trick Susan into not coming, and we're just going to do the Bachelor stuff ourselves. It's like, wait, Matt and I already did the Bachelor stuff. We have to move on.
That's right. Like what? But wait.
Well, it'll be so good.
Susan. It would be.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, ma'am, good to catch up with you, and we'll be definitely thinking about Big Brother. But yeah, Golden Bachelor tonight. Celebrity Jeopardy started this week. If you're looking for other stuff that's cool, all the
Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise. I know y'all keep pushing Bachelor in Paradise is on as well. That's going to follow Golden Bachelor. So you got two sort of extremes happening. So
it's very dumb because those shows are so long. Unless they're just doing an hour-long show, but usually The Bachelor is 2 hours.
I think these are 1 hour, unless it's going to be 7 to 9, and then Paradise is 9 to 10. Maybe that's what they're doing. One of them has to be an hour. There's not enough time.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea. So
they could do 90 minutes each. I don't know. Yeah. Who's making these calls? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Well, check out Bryan, everything he does at boomstickcomics.com and High Def Digest for all that cool stuff. Everything we do is theentertainmentanswer.com. We'll be back Monday, maybe.
Al Pacino.
See, I knew it.